step back. We have unlimited hours. I don't think we've overdone it. We had a light cleanup practice today, and it's already done. So now we got a good over a day to rest. We'll still do some video, and we'll do some walkthrough stuff, and then it's all go against Iowa. I'm no bracketologist or follow the bubble like I once did. All I do is know that this has to be an extremely important game for us if we want to keep our postseason hopes alive. That or make a big run in the tournament. Anything can happen either way, but it's easiest if you control your destiny, and we beat Iowa. It puts us with 11 wins in our league, and hopefully that puts us in the right direction.
John?
Obviously not the senior night that you might have envisioned for Karras and Spike, but your thoughts on those guys going into this one?
Well, they're really fond, and then I feel bad for them as well, that both of them. I mean, Spike played through a lot of pain last year. The year before, Spike was really sick at the end of the year when we were trying to make that run to the championship game again. He was sick then, so both of them have had a lot of adversity during that time. But to do it again, I offer both those guys scholarships. Those 3 years, the parts of 3 years that they were able to give us, if the total number of games they were able to give us, were just incredible. Fun to coach. Every time that I don't see Karras in practice right now, but Spike, it's just like, wow, he was really good.
Brendan?
Talk about the importance of this game. These guys kind of had a week to think on it. Mm-hmm. Where do you kind of put them in terms of maybe not overthinking it, balancing it, but still playing with a sense of urgency?
Yeah. I mean, every day that we get to practice, we're getting better. With this particular group, for whatever reasons, the learning curve is very slow, and so having extra time should help, but it doesn't mean, what Iowa does with really a veteran team, and it's going to be tough to stop them. It's going to be tough to score on them. They'll change things on us. We'll see zone, we'll see man. So I think we've made progress in that, but there is, the things that continues to bog us down is doing the same thing over and over again, the same mistake. So, but I've seen, we've had a good week of practice.
Anything particularly really stand out to you about this week?
I think our attitude has really been good all week. They know what's at stake, and the 2 days we really did, the Wednesday, Thursday, where we really practiced hard. We went over 2 hours. We just were into it. They didn't back down. They did a great job.
What are your thoughts on Iowa kind of struggling here the last 2-3 weeks? Is there something you see that's going on there? Is it just,
it's a long season, and people, when you have this adversity like we've had, that they've had, it's probably best to have it now. I mean, really, you see teams that will just have troubles at the end of the season, and all of a sudden March comes in one game, and they can go on a run. So they got that type of senior class right now, and then Jock is playing as good as anybody in the league, and so I to choose to turn around and say it could be a really good thing for them, because they're definitely in the NCAA tournament. They have their resume done, but they'll come in here, they're fighting for a seed, they're fighting for their own just positive mojo, and we're fighting like crazy for an NCAA berth, so it should be a great game.
Talked about leadership, and as it's gone forward, you're talking about the bracketology and the importance of this game. So are they talking about it? Do you hear them?
Yeah.
I mean, is that something
I wouldn't know that. I mean, I try to, when we're off the court, I try not to talk to them about basketball that much. You know what I mean? It's just.
I mean,
like
meetings, are you guys putting on the board?
No, I haven't done that. They know, but I've talked to them about, okay, the Wisconsin game. Earlier I said we got 4 games left or whatever. I said we got to win. I feel we got to win 2 of these games, or maybe 3 of these games, and we got 2 teams on there. And I don't have 2 teams that are really huge wins for you on the road at Wisconsin and Iowa. I think they figured that all out.
Did you change the way you coach in terms of desperation in terms of minutes and rest? I mean, and they're in the middle of the game as a result of that importance.
You know, I've been looking at that, and it's a good question. I think that what's really important is that we are not playing tired in the last 10 minutes. And so that's important. I give them some rest before then. So, you know, I always felt the extra time out in the second half, or the extra media time out in the second half, the longer one was always helpful to give a guy a rest. But I think I see some trends with some of our guys that down the stretch, either offensive or defensive, I'd like to give them one more break. Even if it's a 2 or 3 minute break somewhere in the second half. I think we've been doing a better job of getting everybody in there in the first half. But my goal is to give them more. So I think we won't lengthen the bench dramatically, but we may try and just get a couple minutes for a couple of our guys.
John?
Speaking of rest, did no weekday game this week help any of your guys, maybe more than others? As somebody that
I think the guys, Zach and Derek and Mohammed, all those guys, Mark, I mean, we really tried to, when we played Sunday. So Monday was really light for us. Tuesday was an off day for those guys. Wednesday, Thursday went pretty good. And today is just like we broke a sweat. We probably went for less than an hour of an active practice. So I think that those heavy minute guys should benefit from them.
Brendan?
With you mentioned Derek and Zach, with shutting down Karis official, tomorrow being senior night. Poetic, would you like to maybe see those two take on a certain, maybe higher ownership of this team and this program?
I think we met about that a couple of weeks ago, about them doing more. And it's hard to do that. You know, like both of them during practices are in therapy a lot of the time. Spike's taking a full load so that he can graduate, you know, and so in May. So they're both really consumed with therapy as well. So it's been tough for them, and I asked them to step that up. You'll watch when I go to a timeout when my chair is empty, that I talk to the team in a timeout. You'll see one of those guys. I want them in that chair talking with everybody. That's not natural for either one of them, by the way. But it's something we continue to say, your team needs this right now.
You were just talking about Karis and
Yeah.
Spike. I meant, sorry,
Oh.
I'm sorry if I misspoke. I meant Derek and Zach now really taking this thing over.
No, I think that they have, especially Zach, and I think Derek's doing a better job there too, but Derek would be the quiet one when it comes to the leadership part, but Zach is much more, looks at this as his responsibility right now. So yeah, they have to. And so they've had a good week of practice. I think we do these, we've been marking these guys with this system that shows workload during the practice. Derek Walton consistently has worked as hard as anybody every practice, and that's really interesting. Now he doesn't have the substitutes waiting in line, and that a little bit of it. And I've tried to be conscious of that, to get Dockage in there, Andrew in there more in practice.